Welcome to Fellows Riverside Gardens, our community's public garden operated by Mill Creek Metro Parks here in Youngstown, Ohio. My name's Keith Kaiser and I'm the horticulture director of this Metro Parks. We are about to show you an exciting place which many of you have been to before, but if you haven't, hopefully you'll take on a new adventure on a visit to Youngstown, Ohio, and that's visiting Fellows Riverside Gardens. Today, we're going to take you on a kind of walking guided tour, and if you come on your own, make sure that you pick up one of our guides, which is a visitor guide for Fellows Riverside Gardens. It gives you a map and information about each garden area. Fellows Riverside Gardens started in 1958. It was a gift from Elizabeth Fellows and her husband, who had passed away. They both were interested in gardening and loved their community and wanted to leave their land and money to start a public garden in our community. We've developed 16 garden areas in this gardens, and we're going to look at some of those areas today. And how we're going to do that is with the use of one of our new additions to Fellows Riverside Gardens, and that's this book, A Walk in the Garden. Recently released, just this spring actually, by Fellows Riverside Gardens, are the friends of Fellows Riverside Gardens actually, is a book that is all about taking a walk in a garden. It could be about any garden in your life, but this one of course focuses very much on parts of Fellows Riverside Gardens and what is here. So as we go about the gardens today, we'll touch on some of these places and activities and trees and shrubs and plants and parts of the gardens that you might enjoy to hear about and come back and visit. So for those of you who are young at heart or have children in your life that you'd like to share the gardens with, come to Fellows Riverside Gardens and follow along with what we're going to show you today. And specifically, again, it's about a walk in the gardens. Let's go see what we can find. So let me tell you a little bit about the history of this book. In the last fall, we approached Youngstown City Schools and wanted to do a program or a project with them. And what resolved was the 6th graders of Cheney School, which are 6th through 12th graders in the Youngstown City Schools, and they are in a program through the Visual Performing Arts, as well as the Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math programs. Those 6th graders came to the gardens for a day-long visit, and when they came, they learned about Fellows Riverside Gardens, what's here, and they brought their cameras, their sketch pads, they even brought little composition, cardboard cutout frames, if you want to think about it, and they placed it, determining what they saw in that frame would help create the pictures that they painted and made out of collage. So when they were here, they took tours of the gardens. There was volunteers and staff that showed them about the gardens, each area, each plant, well not every plant, but a lot of the plants, and we really touched them, I think, about what to look at and think about Fellows Riverside Gardens is. They went back to the school, and with the help of Darhosta, who is an author, an illustrator, and author of books herself, led them through the process of creating this book. That entailed them doing collage work, so they painted wooden boards for their little palette. They then painted paper and made texture on the paper with brushes and combs and so on. They cut out those shapes of papers to create the patterns and the shapes that you see in the pages. And then they spent some time writing as a poem to go along with that subject matter. So for instance, this 2 pages of the book is the poem called The Fountain. And it's about the fountain, of course, here at Fellows Riverside Gardens. And I'll read to you the poem. We watch the wet, running water as it dribbles down the sides. The peaceful sounds are like magical music as we touch the cool, soothing spray. This pretty sight is full of beautiful flowers and gentle splashes. We are breathless and excited. So, again, you as a visitor to the gardens can come and look at the fountain and see the book and walk through the gardens and connect the two, just like these students did. So have you ever thought about what one singular part of a plant and what that part would be that we use to identify a plant the most? What do you think? It's the leaf. So if it's a leaf from a boxwood that's small and little, maybe a half-inch long, to a hosta leaf like this, or even a fern frond that has lots of little leaflets, the leaf is what we often use to identify that plant. And we often refer to that plant by a name, and that name many times looks like or refers to what the leaf looks like. For instance, this plant, which you probably would first say, oh, that's an oak tree, is not. It's an oak-leafed hydrangea. It's a hydrangea that has a leaf that's shaped like an oak, so the common name has evolved to be oak-leaf hydrangea. So what is it that inspired the kids to look at leaves and think about it from an oak-leaf hydrangea or to the variegated leaf of this grass-like plant, or this blue shiny leaf of the hosta? Let's read and see what they said. Leaves. Many bright leaves blow in the treetops, some small and colorful, even some smell like cotton candy. We'll talk about that tree later. They shine like the sun along the edges. A thick diamond-shaped leaf is rippled and wavy, and the elephant leaves are as big as car doors. I love that scenario. We don't have elephant leaf right now, but I do have this magnificent banana tree here that will be going out in the gardens this summer. Look at the size of that leaf. Not so sure it's the size of the car door, but maybe a kid's car door. So we're out here in the parking lot. The parking lot is where you first arrive or you leave from, and it obviously is how you enter to the Davis Education Visitor Center. So these young boys, in their poems and their paintings, created the parking lot and the visitor center, and that's all part of the gardens as well. So they commented or said in their poems, it's warm and cozy inside, pretty walls and an amazing view from the windows. The chandeliers look like it's made from diamonds. So inviting, we said ooh and ah. Fellows Riverside Gardens is an exciting place. We hope that you come back and take some time to adventure on your own, read some of these poems as you observe the gardens, and learn from your own walk in our gardens. Thank you for your time. I appreciate the help from Armstrong in putting these shows together. And my name is Keith Kaiser. Come visit us again.